shot! Utah!
Welcome back to another episode of Slapshot Utah. We are here with the privilege with one of our favorite guests, and we're just going to get right into it. Julian is back, 996 The Howl. We have business to speak of, Julian, do we not? We have draft business. How's it going, guys? Tell me your takes. Let's ride off. I've got so many things to talk about. I know, John, you've got questions for Julian too, but Julian, how you doing, man? Nice to have you back.
I'm doing great. I got some great sleep. Thankfully, Saturday was pretty quiet on day 2 of draft day. But yeah, what a night that was Friday. Just unbelievable. I love being a fan of this team. There's so much forward momentum. There's changes if something's not going right. It's honestly, you see these other teams around the league, and it's like, if I, saddled up with some other teams, it would have been a terrible time.
Well,
Dude.
you know, with all the Larkin talk and everything that was going, and it didn't seem like we were really involved, and some other, and then I'm just kind of like, we're not going to do anything this season. We're just going to hold pat, and then the draft comes, and then we start shipping players off and getting picks. Where do we even start? I guess it's the Peterka pick, right? Is trading Peterka. That's how all this started, really. Correct?
Yeah, I thought when that trade happened, I'm like, okay, 2 first-round picks for Peterka is great. Are we going to flip it for like Robertson? Like, man, like Twitter just went wild with speculation what we were going to do. And I guess, that's why my eyes were peeled on this screen so intensely, just waiting for the next Utah trade. And then it wasn't coming. It's like, okay, I guess we're going to use these picks. And then we ended up trading one of the picks for a goaltender, which, oh man,
Yeah.
I heard his name be thrown around, but I'm like, why would Detroit ever move off from? They literally just played him for one game. Just drafted him 5 years ago in the first round, 15th overall. Spent all this time developing him. He's right at the cusp of graduating from the American Hockey League, and then they just traded him. It's like, just made no sense. But hopefully he's ready to be Veggie's backup. Because if he's not, holy shit, what a mess that would be.
Well, dude, I want to dive in a little more, especially with you, Julian, because you're so like stat oriented. So JJ Peterka, we get those two picks for him. What do you think was the problem that he didn't mesh well? Because like you said, I listened to your video that you put up on YouTube that we had Yamamoto overtake him on the third line, and he moved, or on the second line, and he moved down to the third line. So, like, what do you think it was? Do you think it was like a coaching error, like not coaching error, but like a system error? Do you think that like maybe he just didn't mesh into the system? What is your take on the JJ Peterka not really blooming into what we wanted him to bloom into?
It's a great question, and there's 2 parts of that, because if you don't like Turney, you could really this could be more ammo in your pocket of like, this is why I don't like Turney. But for me, it's like I have to look at the body of work. Like Turney, like literally Keller was like a third liner after his rookie year under Rick Tocchet. He was like a third liner, wasn't developing well, was getting paid $7.5 million. And we're like, what the hell is going on with Keller? And then Turney comes in, he's back. Okay, now he's back. He's 80, 90 point guy. Schmaltz, a career year at like 30, 31 years old. The way he's developed Gunther and Cooley, it's like, okay, like I have body of work for Turney and how he develops players. So I can't side with Peterka. I think the issue was Peterka, he's never known for his defensive play, and Turney just harps and harps. Remember when he benched Cooley in that hockey club season, like late in the third, because we blew a lead against Anaheim? He took a bad penalty, and it's like, that's one of our star players, and we're benching him final minutes of a game, and even in overtime, I think they benched Cooley. It's like Attorney does not care. Maybe Paterko's like he got the bag in the offseason. Like imagine just
Yeah.
being thrown $7.5 million, 7.7, and you haven't even played a game for this team yet. So
I've been following JJ Paterka's Instagram. That dude has been all over the world in the last 3 months. I mean, he's been to Bali, he's been to, I mean, you name it. He's been living the life. So maybe there's a point to that he got the bag and his attention slipped. But do you think we got back with those 2 picks, Julian? Do you think we got back? Do we got even in the whole deal? Like, I know that Doan is a hell of a player, but do you think we got back what we put in? Is it a zero-sum game there?
I think it was a great trade. I think Paterka for 2 firsts is like unbelievable. I would like even 1 first round pick, I would have been fine. Like that's a fair, fine trade. But to get 2, but then people say, oh, it's 2 years from now. It's like I got an exclusive for this podcast, guys. March 2028. It's the trade deadline. We're 2 years older. We're going to be a top 3 in the Central Division. We're going to be a team that's going to be a favorite to go to the conference final. It's a trade deadline. We have our own first round pick. Now we have this first round pick from the Paterka trade. Edmonton's not in the playoffs. Which team do you think is the most primed to trade for McDavid because his contract is up and the Oilers aren't in the playoffs?
Yeah. Hey.
Bucket, baby.
I'm here for it. Wait, so let me get this straight. We traded up from the 19th pick to the 17th pick where we took Ethan Belchetz, right?
Yeah.
That's how you say it. So the 23rd pick, what did that come from?
That came from Boston.
So that came from the JJ pick.
The Paterka, yeah.
Which we then traded for Casa, which I listened to your podcast to where you talked about how Casa and Gunther played together. Do you think that there is that connection where GMBA saw Casa play with Gunther? And where do you think Casa ranks with Hurable? And also, I also heard you talk about you would rather see a veteran player like another goalie come in. Do you want to see the youth movement, or do you want to see GMBA go out and grab another veteran goalie? Because I'm just gonna say I'm in the boat of I want to see Hurable and Casa. I want to see the
That's
youth
2
movement,
years from now. That's 2 years.
but I'm willing to see a bump down. I'm willing to see a bump down to see where we can bounce up. But I want to hear what you would rather see, Julian.
Yeah, so I made that video before watching Bill Armstrong's interview because I looked at Acosta's junior stats and I'm like, oh, that's the same year as Dylan Gunther was playing in Edmonton. And then I listened to Bill Armstrong's interview and he was like, we were hunting for this guy for years. So I guess they just let Detroit develop him all these years. And then we grabbed him. And whenever I saw the top goaltender prospects in the whole NHL, whenever they did those rankings, like what goalies who haven't played an NHL game, where do they rank? It was always Hurable and Casa. And then Detroit also has Augustine. There was Fowler from Montreal. It's like Hurable and Casa were like always together, neck and neck. And now we have both of them. And it's like, yeah, I have to trust our management. They're ready. The reason why I said I want a veteran backup goaltender was just to cure my anxieties. It's like just as insurance. Like let's sign a random guy, 34 years old goaltender to 1 year, maybe a couple 1 million to 2 million, and then if cost is ready, and then just dump that veteran on waivers. It's like it's just insurance for me. It's not like I don't want Costa to play. Like I want Costa to play.
Do you have one in mind though? Do you have a veteran goalie potentially on the free agent market that you would like to see play in Salt Lake City?
Yeah, I've made a whole video, but now like I wouldn't spend more than 2 million. Now it's just dumb because you just trust Veggie and Casa. But I would target like David Riddick, 1 year, 1 million, just to make sure Casa's ready. Because like if Casa's not ready for a backup at Veggie, we're screwed. So
agreed.
Just as like, yeah, it's worst case scenario planning, really.
Okay, Julian, I'm going to ask you an entry-level question from someone who's followed hockey but never followed the guts of how minor league hockey actually works. I'm trying to relate everything to my knowledge of baseball. In the baseball world, if we've got a veteran catcher, in this case, the analogy is Veggie, who's our goalie, right? And he's going to play 75% of the games. And I know injury is always a problem. But if he's the anchor, and explain this to me, or Stauber, Vialta, right? I know that they're in Tucson, and I know you don't call people up and send them down in the same way, but do we like between these youngsters that it sounds like you're indicating that at least one of them is going to see some time with the club, right? At least with limited appearances. Like, can't we piece together something? Or tell me why. I know that I'm wrong, but tell me why. Tell me why we need to go pick up somebody that what's in the system and who we have just isn't going to work.
Vialta and Stauber are bad. They're just bad goalies. They're not.
So is Vanacek, right? I mean, I know he had a
Yeah.
lot more experience, but at least Stauber and Vialta held it down during the hockey club season. It seemed like.
Yeah, that was a weird season. I felt like they didn't play well. I think Stauber won a game or two.
He looked like a shutout.
Oh, he did. He looked like a street hockey goalie to me. Like Stauber. Yeah,
Right.
sorry to this.
No,
like,
hey,
yeah.
that's why I asked.
It's a valid question because newcomers or just digging into the team are like, hey, we got two goalies in our minor leagues. It doesn't it make sense just bring them up? But it's like they're not really good, so you gotta do something else.
So there is a threshold that more than meets the eye that those guys are going to get eaten alive if we actually depend on them.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I just wanted to know that because I've been missing Stauber. I'm like, where's he coming? When's he coming back? But not going to happen.
I think Vialta also, they won't renew his contract. So it's going to be Stauber and Rabble in Tucson this year.
Rabble. That's how you say it, Rabble.
Is that what we've all decided? It's Rabble?
That's the proper way. I love Hurrable. It's
horrible.
I think,
yeah, no.
I think I just led everyone astray.
This is going to be like the third time I've had to change my pronunciation of that.
Exactly. Well, let's pivot on to our draft pick. Ethan Belchetz, a 6'5", 230-pound power forward. I think he brings a lot of size. We've talked about Danielle Boot. Dude, if we had Danielle Boot and Belchetz in the same lineup, that's incredible. I loved your tweet the other night where it was like when Bill Armstrong sees a 6'5", 18-year-old and is pointing Sophie Cunningham. Like, I loved that. How do you guys feel? I want to hear from both of you because I haven't even talked to Leroy about this. How do you guys feel about this draft pick? I don't know much about him. You definitely know more about him than I do, Julian. So how do you feel about that?
Well, I want to hear Leroy first.
Okay, so look, big guy, fits the Bill Armstrong mold. A guy that's 6'5" at the wing.
At 18 years old, he was. People were saying he was 6'5" like for over a year. So he was 6'5" at like 17 years old.
That's going to be an intimidating presence. I mean, I can't imagine the juice coming off of some of those shots on a big guy like that. But while we sure filled the bill, I mean, like the height and the size is here. I don't know his game all that well, other than just what I saw in your pod, Julian, which sounds like he's a real physical player. Like kind of you talked about crashing the net, or like you want to talk about that?
Yeah, he also fights too. So I feel like he's just a meaner Boot. And I feel like Boot is maybe a bit of a gentle giant. That's why I always used to call Kraus. But it seems like Kraus is getting a little bit more feistier in Utah than the last years of Arizona. But yeah, Belchetz, apparently the T is silent.
Oh,
I just learned that too. Belchetz,
oh,
yeah.
That's good to know. Yeah, I'm excited for him. Like, I mean, Bill Armstrong had great words for him. I like I said, I haven't followed him at all, but they had him listed in a top 14 pick. We got him at 19. Or no, we got him at 17. Yeah, so that's great. I'm pumped to see Ethan Belchetz. Welcome to the Mammoth, sir.
Yeah, I saw the entry interview, the welcome to the Mammoth talk. He seems like a real bright, sharp, kid. I know he's going to play. What school is he going to play in Michigan? Is
Michigan
that
State.
Michigan
Yeah.
State? Yeah, he just seems like, and that's something I wanted to talk to you about. Julian is the kids. Okay, we got a new kid, we got Belchez, but the guys that talked, Denoye, he's like, I'm shooting to make the team.
Mhm.
Bedouin, I think I can make the team. I don't remember again saying that, but all these guys, these fresh faces, they got a lot of fight in them. And we were just talking to a friend of ours yesterday about, okay, I'm willing to temper my expectations. Maybe we're going to take a little bit of a step back because we got to get these guys some time. But are you as excited about what could be coming, like as I am? I know, and I know we all bond to these new players because there are new shiny toys,
Mhm.
but it just seems like we've got a real bright future. Julian, talk about that.
Yeah, I'm so excited, but I'm scared. This upcoming season is so awkward and it scares me so much because are we just going to inject all these guys? Like, all these guys want to make the team. All these guys have just graduated juniors. You don't, as a hockey fan for so long, you're not, it's really rare you just get into the league and you're amazing. Gunther was not good, not Gunther was really underwhelming when he jumped to Arizona. He played 30 games, had 6 goals, and then they sent him down to the Roadrunners. And Gunther is a 40-goal scorer now. So, the back of my mind is these guys need time. We can't just throw them out. But I don't want to say that because I want to be proven wrong. Cooley as well. I think he had a fine rookie year with the Coyotes, but I was underwhelmed with him too. He probably should have just stayed another year in college, but Cooley is a third overall. And we're talking about, again, less 6 overall. We're talking about Baudouin was in the 20s. Danouillet is 4th overall. So it's if even Cooley and Gunther needed some baking time, it's so what do we do for this upcoming season? And we can't even go out and get guys because then they're just stealing spots from 2 years from now. So I really just don't know what to do. And I feel probably just lean into the youth movement. And John said, just we might take a dip. We might miss the playoffs, but that's not the point. It's just the years after are going to just slingshot us so much farther than where we are now.
Yeah, well, I mean, and if we take any kind of step back, I mean, John, you and I both, we know there's a lot of people are going to call for Bear's head
Oh yeah, for sure.
immediately,
Oh my God.
so reactionary about it. But okay, another question for you. I haven't heard about the big kid, but are we fading on Maverick Lamoureux?
Mhm.
I was going to ask the same.
Where where's he fitting into the scheme of things?
Yeah, kind of disappointed. He didn't make a bigger impact last season. I'm disappointed we had to play Cole so much. Can we stop depending on Ian Cole so much? Yeah, for sure underwhelmed with Simishev in the NHL, but Simishev had a great year in the American Hockey League. Lamoureux's never having good years in the American Hockey League. It could be injuries with him. He suffers some injuries sometimes, but at least Simishev had a really good year with the Roadrunners. Made it to the All-Star game, was team MVP, but yeah, terrible with the Mammoth. So just really hoping they have strong off seasons and Simishev and Lamoureux, they're the next two top defensemen. And then after that, it's it's
Yeah.
Lavoie and Sinichka. That's why I was kind of surprised they didn't draft a defenseman in the first round. But then again, that would have taken years for that player to develop. So just
Well,
gotta trust.
Well, you just said it takes time, and that's one of the weird things that has been in my NHL hockey journey of and me and my girl talk about it all the time because I watch the NBA and NFL, and usually the rookie gets plugged right in. And in the hockey, it's you draft the guy and he goes and plays in college for 3 years, and then he comes to your minor league team, and then hopefully they come up. But Bill Armstrong did an interview talking about Tej Iginla coming up and playing center, maybe full time next year. How do you feel about that? Do you think he's ready, or do you think is it going to be like a two-way where he goes down to Tucson, comes up for a game, goes down? Do you think Tej Iginla actually has the like let's say the skills to come and play up into the NHL.
I think he's the most likely out of Desnoyers, Baudouin, Smith to make the Mammoth, and I think he'll play wing now that Peterka's gone.
Yeah.
It's like imagine like trading Peterka now like Iginla's center, so he has to go on the third line. Like honestly, just put Iginla with Cooley and Gunther or Keller and
Oh
Schmaltz
yeah.
and just run with it. Like
Let it
we just
ring.
need a lot of firepower in the top six.
Well, yeah, and firepower is exactly so. Sorry, Leroy. Sorry to
No, no,
interrupt.
you're cool.
But like, so we talked about like Coach Bear getting an extension. Also, we got Forsyth getting the extension. That is the power play coach. And on your podcast, you talked about how, I mean, we talked about it on our podcast, how shitty the power play has been. And Forsyth, we're hoping comes back. We got Adam Foote coming in, who will be the power play killer. And he won a gold medal here in 2002, coached with Bear in Colorado. How do you feel about the coaching changes? Do you like Forsyth coming back with a Ginla, with let's say like all these new pieces coming in? Do you think he can turn it around? And do you think Adam Foote is going to be a good coaching assistant on our staff?
Yeah, I think Adam Foote's going to be huge. I feel like whenever people talk about Foote, like players who were coached by him, like he's a calming presence. He calms me down. He knows how to press my buttons, and he's just really good to have behind the bench. He's not the best head coach, but just as an assistant, just make sure everyone's responsible and just doing their duty, and is a great communicator. And players love being coached by him. He'll probably be responsible for defense and PK Foot, but I think he'll also just be there just to provide a supporting voice for Bear. For the power play, I'm not happy they re-signed Forsyth. I just hope everyone is aware they need to change something. So if you're bringing back the same coach, like whatever went wrong, and we knew it was wrong for like 7 months, you better make sure you have a new game plan for the next season.
So, Julian, Kevin Stenland has unfollowed the team on Instagram and Twitter, I believe. It doesn't sound like they're bringing Stenny back now. Fine, but I think in the hockey club season, we had like a 51% face-off winning percentage, maybe. I think that went down this year, down to 49-ish.
Yeah, because Hayden and Kerfoot were injured the whole time.
Yeah. So the problem isn't solved. We'll see. But with that being said, when it comes to these younger guys, Baudouin being maybe the guy that I'm kind of inferring to, is these guys got to win faceoffs. We have to have a faceoff winning specialist on the team. And who is that going to be? Like, if we lose Stenland, I mean, one of these kids are coming in and playing. If Ginla ends up playing third line center, or you get somebody in at fourth line, I mean, who's going to win what do you think about this?
Yeah, you just blew my mind. I did not even think about how Desnoyers and Baudouin are going to do on faceoffs, and we're already bad at faceoffs, so we're going to have them play center and just lose face. Like, yeah, man.
Yeah. It almost seems to me like Baudouin almost has the best chance of making the team because he's got the slot. There's playing time there. Those younger guys with the skill positions, I mean, they could really fall in their face, but with Baudouin's energy game and his tenacity, he can just, from his physicality on that energy line, wear some people down. And so I wonder if Baudouin maybe isn't the kid that makes the team just because the opportunity is there. But either way, I like Kerfoot's going to stay, isn't he? And like, what are we going to do about the faceoffs? And does that somehow factor into upcoming free agency?
Yeah, that's why in my free agency video, I looked at their faceoffs percentages. I'm like, hey, this guy's really good, like a Scott Lawton or some other depth centerman. It's like if we're going to move on from Stenland, it's still unclear if we're moving on from Kerfoot too. Like if we lose both of them, it's like we're going to have to go to free agency, and you better get a veteran faceoff winner who could teach these young guys. And you're perfectly right. Like Baudouin is a prototypical bottom six player, so it's easier for him to get into that role, whereas Desnoyers is a skilled top six player. There's no real space. If you throw him on a third line, not really going to excel. He needs to excel on a top line or second line. So maybe he goes down to Tucson and goes first line center there. And then it's easier for Baudouin to just get a bottom six role.
You talked about we've had you on here obviously multiple times, but like Gabe Smith. Gabe Smith won the Defensive Player of the Year in his respective league up in Canada. Where's he? How's he developing? Do you see him coming up and maybe competing with like a Lamoureux, maybe getting onto the ice in the defensive aspect?
He's a forward.
Oh, I thought it was
Sorry to
defense.
correct you. No, it's okay.
No, thank you for correcting me.
He's like a prospect, like you know those iceberg memes
Yeah.
where it's like like near the above the water, near the surface. Like Gabe Smith, I expect him to start with Tucson next season and just continue to develop. He's a 4th round pick. He's already excelling at it, and maybe we see him in 1 or 2 more seasons. But I don't think they'll bring him up to the Mammoth next season.
What was the award he won then? I thought he won Defensive Player.
Defensive forward sounds right.
Defensive forward. Okay. Yeah. My bad.
Okay. So Julian, I don't want to say predictions because it's way too early, way too early. But look, I mean, and I guess before we even talk about predictions for a season, because that's just ridiculous, but predictions for free agency. Like, do you really think we're players for like a guy like Robertson, or like, do we even want a guy like Larkin? Like, that seemed like something I would have been excited about maybe last year, but now, like we talked about the guys, I don't want to get a vet in and clog up a position and then just not see these, this exciting future kind of unfold. So what if you were general manager? Instead of GMBA, you were GMJC, I think. How are you going to pull this off this summer? How are you going to win the offseason, Julian?
Well, I wouldn't do it for Larkin. 5 years, his stats are pretty underwhelming. And the top 6, Keller, Larkin, Schmaltz seems like a really great line. But yeah, you're taking spots away from our young guys. We're so attached to our young guys where any of these trades is going to cost some of them. And it's like, I kind of just want to see these guys through, to be honest. Like, something special is brewing here. But Werenski is a recent name that's been popping up. He just won the best defenseman in the NHL Norris Award. He wants out of Columbus. I think we're just missing like a really stellar defenseman. Like Sergachev's doing his job. I would always make that Sergachev trade every day. Uyghur, we just got Uyghur. We got to see how he turns out. But, getting a Norris Trophy winner, Werenski, I think would elevate this team. And if you do get Robertson, it's like, okay, he wants $15 million a year. What's that going to say to a guy like Cooley, Gunther, who signs Gunther signed for $7 million and he's scoring 40, and then you just go get Robertson and it's like, oh, we're giving this guy $15 million. Sorry, Dylan.
Yeah.
And then Cooley just signed 10, and now he's like, okay, you just went out and grabbed a guy. Now he's getting paid 15. It's like it doesn't really fit the culture they're trying to build in Utah, and I feel like Peterka didn't fit the culture. I feel like he seemed like an outsider to the brotherhood. Well, I don't know if that's due to his nationality. Like, I really don't know any Germans, but maybe it was just hard for him to penetrate that locker room. And that locker room is so tight, but they're so welcoming too. So I think it just didn't mesh well.
Well, we all learned our lesson. Sorry, John, I was going to say, we all learned a lesson trying to read body language last season because everybody got on Schmaltz for not being animated and friendly enough. And then next thing you know, he's the best player on the team. But anyways, what were you going to say, John? Sorry.
Well, also Carconi as well. His exit interview, all of us were like, he's not coming back, but he got a 2-year deal. So
just like that.
He's right back. Yeah. So, Bill, I was just going to ask you because you talked about the culture and you talked about JJ not meshing. I haven't heard your opinion I am vocally a Coach Bear stan. I love Coach Bear. I think he's doing good. One of the only coaches that in his 5 years, now gonna be 6 years, he's only gotten better. I watched him during the draft process. He gave a great story about his mom, about how every time he walks in the room, his mom or she smiles, and so he tries to do the same thing. He talked about how our guys are so ready every summer, so he doesn't really hound them because he doesn't want to feel like a micromanager. How do you feel about Coach Bear? Where do you see him as far as like coaching ranks? And like obviously, like you said earlier, we don't want a veteran coach to come in and develop players, but Bear's clearly developing players like great. How do you feel about the Coach Bear extension, and where do we go from here?
I think he hasn't given any reason to fire him yet. Like you said, one of the very few coaches in the whole history of the NHL to increase wins, points, and points percentage in the first 5 years he's coaching. I I don't think he's a cup winning coach, but we're not a cup winning team either now in this present moment. I think, a multi-year deal, I feel like the next 2 years we need Tourney, and then we and then we would move on to like a cup winning experienced coach. But yeah, I love Bear. It got a little bit squirrely in November, December, but it was pretty much due to the schedule, playing too many games, condensed schedule, always on the road. And thankfully that turned out to be true. So once they got some rest and played some home games, they made the playoffs and got that first wild card spot.
I want to talk about our dude, Kyler Yamamoto. Now, I know he's an unrestricted free agent. I know he's probably not, he just doesn't fit. We got guys coming up, but man, I wish we could have 6 lines. I just really wish we could. I mean, Yamamoto was such a treat to watch. The energy that he brought, the speed, like sometimes he was the only life on the ice at some points in the season and some of those later lines. And so, look, I don't think the future with the Mammoth bodes well with Yamamoto. I just think he's too good for the opportunity that he's going to be given. Julian, do you agree with me on that? And if you don't, what do you think, or where is he going to go?
Yeah, yeah, I'm not a fan of Yamamoto.
Really?
Yeah,
Tell me why.
just because from where he's been, because I've been following hockey for so long. Like he was drafted by the Oilers. He was
He went
supposed to
to
be
the
so much better,
Kraken
and then he
after.
moved to the Kraken.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just I would love him as a depth guy, like an extra forward you bring in from press box to the ice. He's not a second line player, so
No.
I think it just worked out. I think he's going to get a good payday, probably from another team, but we need to we need to elevate from Yamamoto on the second line is really what I'm trying to say. And I feel
Mhm.
like Yamamoto and Carconi are like the same player. So you got to like pick one. You can't have so much small statured player forwards. Um, like you need to get bigger, you need to get more feistier, and just pick one out of Carconi and Yamamoto. It seemed like they picked Carconi. I know Yamamoto is a fan favorite. I feel like I'm on an island, which is fine. I'm not right. I'm not wrong. Like it's just opinions, but definitely would love to elevate over Yamamoto.
Well, the last time we also talked here, you
But he
were
had a great
very
play. Sorry, he had a great playoff. Like I was so impressed
oh,
by
yeah,
his playoff
Mo's yeah,
performance. He
Yams
was like a
is
bowling
yeah.
ball out there. Yeah.
No, he was great. I'm personally I love Yams just because, like you just said, like, he was just that guy that you just cheer for because, like, he's not good enough to be on a second line of
Hmm.
a Stanley Cup team, but we cheer for him because he's out there killing it. But the last time we talked about Baron Hayton and how you're still very high on him. Are you still high on him, or do you see him as a key piece in maybe landing a larger fish to come here with the Utah Mammoth?
Both are true. I think him and Dursey have like the most value. Like they're not so bad where teams are going to be like, I don't want your garbage. They could look at Hayden and be like, oh, there's a ceiling here. There's improvement here. But yeah, I love Hayden. I'm probably biased because, I ran into him on the street during COVID in Toronto.
Oh
He was
yeah.
going grocery shopping. I just
That's
stopped him
awesome.
in the middle of the street. But I think Hayden would be a wonderful bottom six centerman. Like for sure, I agree he shouldn't be in the top six. But he's cheap. You could still get him for cheap
Yeah.
and play him as a third or fourth line center.
How's Hayton on faceoffs?
I think he's
Average?
pretty good. I think he's pretty good.
Pretty
51-ish, 52. He's not amazing. But
Huh.
he's one of the best for Utah. Like it's just him and Kerfoot and Stenlund. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Great having you, Julian. I mean,
dude.
yeah. It's hard to watch the draft and not think to myself, you're kind of my go-to on Mammoth analysis. So I was really looking forward to watching the 2 episodes. I think you had one on Kosa and another one on Belchez. Thank you for the pronunciation direction. All right.
another one tomorrow morning.
Another
Just to
one.
recapping day 2, who else they drafted. So if you want to know, or if you want the inside scoop now, but I guess this is going live at the same time tomorrow
Give us
morning.
a teaser. Give us a
Yeah, give us
teaser.
a teaser, dude.
Okay, so the guy they drafted in the 3rd round, Adam Valentini, which is an Italian last name, which I'm Italian. He grew up near me, not streetwise, but like in the same region-ish. He had the 2nd most points as a freshman in the NCAA as a rookie, and who was first was Gavin McKenna.
Whoa.
So this guy's second.
Shit.
He was scheduled to be drafted in like very late 1st, early 2nd round, but dropped to like 3rd round because he so many red flags in his junior year. But because I live in his region, I know exactly why. He was he was property of this junior team in Ontario, Brampton, and no one wants to live in Brampton, so he just like didn't report to them. And so this Brampton team traded him to another city in Ontario, Kitchener. No one wants to live there either. So he literally signed that contract to Kitchener and then just ghosted them and just went to the NCAA, I think in Michigan, or somewhere else in the NCAA. I forget now, but he just goes. Yeah, he's got red flags about commitment.
But he's our guy? This is our guy now?
Well, I said in the video, like the best you could hope for is you got him really late. He's a offensive winger and he increases his value, and then you trade him for a really good defenseman. So I think that's best case for us.
Well, tune in to 996 The Howl, our friend Julian. Kick-ass podcast. Yeah, I mean, it's my favorite way to follow what's going on with the
best.
Yeah,
dude. But I'd be remiss to not ask this, Julian. As you met Barrett Hayton in the streets of Toronto, how are the streets of Toronto today after they win their first elimination round World Cup soccer game or football?
Round of 16.
Yeah, they're on to the round of 16. How are the vibes out there right now, dude?
Too much traffic, hard to get around. But it's a melting pot city. So literally I'm seeing every nationality, like so much Colombia fans, Portugal. Yeah, I saw the Canada game today. There's no passion there. Like I even watched it. I'm like, there's no feeling here. So I cheer for my team's England. I've been cheering for England for 20 years.
Why?
Because I'm Italian. Yes. What color do they wear?
Blue.
Oh,
remember?
that's right.
Oh,
Blue. That's right.
It all comes around.
It all comes around, dude.
I literally don't know why they wear blue. It's like you have red in your flag. You're Italy. It's green, white, red. Just wear red, and I would have been a fan. So
the Germans wear blue sometimes too.
Yeah, they were wearing a navy color the other day. I'm like, why?
A big so Canada's soccer fan, not really English soccer fan. So how did you end up, besides not an Italy fan? Okay, but how did you end up being I presume, a Premiership fan? Yeah.
I don't watch like soccer at all, just Euro Cup and World Cup.
Oh, just the international. Okay, I presumed it had some connection to the Prem, but no, just international soccer, England.
Yeah, I'm not I played soccer when I was younger, till about 15, 16. But yeah, they were wearing red 20 years ago and then just followed them. I love going to English pubs, watching those English games, and my passion's there. Like I feel it. So when I feel something, it's like I'll stick with England. Even now, like it's rare Canada was ever in these tournaments. Now they're finally in these tournaments. It's like I can't really ban it. Like there's nothing there. I watched it. It was fine. I just moved on with my day. I was more excited about this, to be honest.
I
Wow.
love it.
Well, it seems like every year, if we're going to talk England soccer, seems like every World Cup year, there's, this growing hype. Like, and then some pop artist like creates a theme song for England soccer or whatever. And I just don't feel it. Or am I missing it this year? Is like, are the English finally sick and tired of thinking or hoping that they're going to win the World Cup? Because I don't know, but every roster that English team comes out with seems like they're dangerous enough to do it. And I think England is kind of on the weak side of the bracket this year, right? Or no,
Yeah.
they're on the strong side.
They're on the strong side.
Yeah.
No, I feel like I think they got a pretty nice route. I think they play Congo next, and then it's like probably Mexico. It's a pretty good route, I would say.
Yeah.
But I think it's their new coach. The way they play is so much better. It's so much more straightforward attacking. Whereas Southgate, the previous coach, like too much. You go in with the ball, you stop up, you pass it around the box, nothing happens, then you go the other way. So
Right, dude. Yeah. We've been suffering with USA soccer, so we get it, dude. But Julian, you've been a legend as always, dude. Thank you so much for coming on. Before we leave though, we're stuck at 97 subscribers on YouTube. So we're going to do something cool. My friends at Bud Light donated some Bud Light Mammoth shirts. So
holy, send me that.
I got one for you, buddy. So comment on this video and I'll send you a Mammoth Bud Light shirt. I'll send you some Mammoth Bud Light sunglasses and an exclusive Slapshot Utah, Let's Go Utah bumper sticker. I got one for you, Julian. But comment on here. We'll do a little raffle live on our Instagram or something. But Julian, let everybody know where they can find you, how they can listen to you. And thank you so much for being on this week's episode, dude.
Thanks, man. I love doing these. I apologize for my sound my last video, but I always love doing these things. Find me on YouTube and Twitter, and that's it. Just keep it simple. And I would prefer you follow me on YouTube. If you had to choose one, YouTube more than Twitter. But thanks for having me, guys. I'll retweet and make sure someone wins that 6 shirt.
Hell yeah, buddy.
996 The How, Julian. Thank you for joining us on Slapshot Utah. Thank you, listener, or viewer, whatever you are, following along with us. Until next time, thank you for following our shitty podcast and have a great week.
Later.